The Watchful Eyes of the Riverside Watchdog. Chapter 1. The Group That Knew Everything. I should have known something was off when my neighbor Derek showed up at my door at 7 in the morning, wielding his phone like it was the Holy Grail. "Have you seen it?" he gasped, practically vibrating with excitement. "The post about Mrs. Chen's midnight vacuum session?" I blinked at him, still in my pajamas, coffee-less and utterly confused. "Derek, I don't even know what you're talking about." "The group. The Riverside Watchdog. Everyone's on it." "Well, everyone except you, apparently." He thrust his phone in my face, showing me a Facebook group with over 300 members. The profile picture was a cartoon detective with a magnifying glass, examining what appeared to be our apartment building. I squinted at the screen. The most recent post, from someone called Anonymous Resident 47, featured a blurry photo of what looked like Mrs. Chen's apartment door, posted at 2:47 a.m. with the caption, "Who vacuums at this hour? Some of us have jobs." The comments section was a war zone. People were choosing sides, debating whether Mrs. Chen was inconsiderate, or whether Anonymous Resident 47 was being too sensitive. Someone had started a poll. "This is insane," I muttered. "This is amazing," Derek corrected. "Last week, someone posted about the guy in 8F who never picks up his Amazon packages, and within 2 days, he'd cleared the whole pile. The power of public shaming, my friend." I closed the door on him, but the damage was done. By lunchtime, I'd joined the group. By dinner, I was hopelessly addicted. Chapter 2. Down the Rabbit Hole. The Riverside Watchdog was like reality TV. Except the contestants were my neighbors, and the drama was somehow both pettier and more compelling. In the span of a week, I learned that someone in Building C was allegedly hoarding shopping carts from the nearby grocery store. 17 carts, according to Anonymous Resident 22, who had apparently counted. A mysterious individual kept leaving passive-aggressive notes in the elevator about proper elevator etiquette, which sparked a 50-comment debate about whether it was ruder to hold the elevator for someone 20 feet away, or to let the doors close. The tenant in 5D was running what appeared to be an unlicensed bird sanctuary, with photographic evidence of at least 8 parakeets visible through the window. But here's the thing. Stuff actually got fixed. Remember those shopping carts? Gone within 48 hours. The elevator notes? Building management sent out an email about recent concerns and community standards. Even the parakeet situation was apparently being monitored. "It's like we have our own NSA," my friend Rachel said when she came over for wine one Friday night. She was scrolling through the group on her phone, cackling at a post about someone who'd been caught on camera taking 2 newspapers from the lobby instead of 1. Except instead of national security, we're protecting what? The sanctity of the newspaper rack? "Don't knock it," I said, refilling her glass. Last month, I submitted 3 maintenance requests about the leaky pipe in my bathroom. Nothing. Nada. Then someone posted about it on the Watchdog, and a plumber showed up the next day. "So who runs this thing?" Rachel asked. "There's got to be an admin, right?" I shrugged. "No one knows. There's a whole conspiracy theory section in the comments. Some people think it's multiple people. Some think it's management trying to crowdsource complaints. Personally, I think it's just some bored teenager with too much time on their hands." Rachel grinned. $20 says it's Mrs. Patterson from 3A. She's always lurking in the lobby with those beady little eyes. You're on. Chapter 3. The Great Dog Poop Incident. It started, as these things often do, with feces. On a Tuesday morning, around 9 a.m., a post appeared that would change everything. The username was the same as always. One of those anonymous resident accounts that populated the group. But this post had a special kind of fury to it. Attention all residents. It began, in aggressive capital letters. There is a serial offender among us who has been allowing their dog to defecate on the sidewalk near the south entrance without cleaning it up. This has been going on for weeks. I have photographic evidence. See below. And timestamp data from the security cameras. This is not only disgusting but also a health violation. Management has been notified repeatedly but has taken no action. If you are the owner of a small white fluffy dog, you know who you are. Clean up after your animal or face the consequences. The post included 3 photos. One of the crime scene. One of a blurry white dog that could have been anything from a poodle to a mop. And one of what appeared to be a printed email to building management. Dated 3 weeks prior, regarding unsanitary conditions near south entrance. The comments exploded. Finally someone said it. This is why we can't have nice things. How do you know it's a dog and not a raccoon? Bold of you to assume management checks their email. Consequences? What are you gonna do? Citizens arrest the dog. But there was something different about this post. Something in the writing style. Formal, indignant, full of capital letters and a very specific kind of outrage. It reminded me of something, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Chapter 4. The Clue. The revelation came 2 days later, during my morning scroll through the group. Someone had responded to the dog poop post with a simple question. How did you get timestamp data from the security cameras? Those aren't public access. Fair point, I thought. The building's security cameras were managed by a private company, and the footage wasn't exactly available for casual browsing. You had to submit a formal request through management for specific incidents. The response from the anonymous poster came 20 minutes later. I have my sources. What matters is accountability. I was about to scroll past when another comment caught my eye. It was from Jasmine in 9C, a paralegal who'd once helped me dispute a parking ticket. Interesting use of caps lock and formal language, she wrote. Reminds me of certain strongly worded letters that occasionally appear in the community bulletin board. Anyone else seeing a pattern? My brain suddenly made a connection. The bulletin board. The typed notices about proper disposal of refuse and maintaining community standards that appeared every few weeks. Always printed in Times New Roman, always laminated. Everyone assumed they came from management. But what if they didn't? I scrolled back through the group's history, looking at the posts from various, anonymous resident accounts. Different numbers, sure, but the writing style. There was something consistent about it. The capital letters for emphasis. The formal language mixed with barely contained rage. The obsessive documentation. Oh my God, I said aloud to my empty apartment. Chapter 5. The Investigation. I needed to test my theory. Over the next week, I became a detective in my own building, which sounds more glamorous than it was. Mostly it involved lurking in the lobby at odd hours and paying attention to things I'd previously ignored. The community bulletin board, for instance. There were currently 4 notices posted. 1. Reminder. Recycling bins are for recycling only. Regular trash does not belong in recycling. This is not complicated. 2. The gym equipment is shared. Please wipe down machines after use. Your sweat is not a community resource. 3. To whoever keeps repositioning the lobby furniture. Stop. There is a reason for the current arrangement. 4. Lost. 1 umbrella, black, wooden handle. If found, please return to superintendent's office. 3 of these had the same writing style as the Watchdog posts. The 4th, the umbrella notice, was different. Handwritten, polite, slightly shaky script. I took a photo and posted it in the group, careful to word my question innocently. Anyone know if these lobby notices come from management or from residents? The response was immediate and chaotic. Turns out, a lot of people had wondered the same thing. A debate erupted about whether the notices were official, with some people claiming they'd seen the building manager posting them. Others insisting they just appeared overnight, like some kind of passive-aggressive fairy. Then Derek commented, "Pretty sure I saw old man Herman putting one up last month. Caught him red-handed with the laminator." Old man Herman. Mr. Herman from 12B. The 70-year-old retiree who always wore cardigans and walked with a cane. And said, "Good morning," to everyone in a way that made you feel like you were being evaluated and found wanting. My detective senses tingled. Chapter 6. Confirmation Bias and Catastrophe. I started watching Mr. Herman. Not in a creepy way. At least, I told myself it wasn't creepy. I just happened to notice things. Like how he was always in the lobby reading a newspaper, but his eyes tracked every person who walked in. How he had a little notebook that he occasionally jotted things in. How he seemed to appear wherever there was drama, like some kind of cardigan-wearing specter of judgment. "You're becoming obsessed," Rachel told me over coffee. "This is not healthy." "I'm not obsessed. I'm curious. There's a difference." You literally created a spreadsheet correlating Watchdog post times with Herman's lobby appearances. That's just good investigative journalism. But she had a point. I was getting carried away. And I was probably wrong anyway. Mr. Herman was 70 years old. What were the odds he was secretly running a 300-person Facebook group dedicated to apartment drama? Then came the post that changed everything. It appeared on a Thursday afternoon, right after the monthly building meeting that, ironically, had addressed the issue of anonymous complaints through unofficial channels. The post was from anonymous resident 89 inches and it was titled, "Breaking. Management refuses to address ongoing dog situation." Despite multiple complaints and photographic evidence, the post read, "Building management has declined to take action regarding the persistent problem of pet waste near the south entrance. They claim they cannot identify the responsible party without definitive proof, despite the timestamp data and visual evidence I have provided. This is an abdication of their responsibility to maintain sanitary conditions for all residents. If management will not act, perhaps community pressure will succeed where official channels have failed." The comments section immediately lit up with people taking sides, debating the ethics of public shaming versus official complaints, and, in one memorable thread, arguing about whether dogs even understand the concept of property rights. But then, at 3:47 p.m., a new comment appeared on the post. And everything went sideways. The comment was from Harold Herman. Not anonymous resident whatever. Harold Herman, with his full name attached to his account, complete with a profile picture of him wearing a cardigan and holding what appeared to be a cat. The comment read, "I've been documenting this issue for 6 weeks. 6 weeks. Do you know how many times I've had to watch that footage? Do you know how many emails I've sent? And for what? So management can tell me they need more information. This is the information. The dog, the owner, the time, the location. What more do they need? A notarized statement from the dog itself? The group went silent. Then someone commented. Mr. Herman? Then someone else. Wait. Then Derek. Bless him. Dude. Are you the admin? Chapter 7. The Unmasking. You know that feeling when you're watching a mystery movie and everything suddenly clicks into place? That moment when the detective reveals who done it and the entire audience goes, "Oh." This was like that, except instead of a detective, we had Derek. And instead of a dramatic parlor room scene, we had 300 people in a Facebook group watching a 70-year-old man accidentally expose himself. The comments poured in faster than I could read them. Mr. Herman is Anonymous Resident 89? How many of the anonymous residents are you? This explains so much. The laminator. It all makes sense now. So, you're the one who reported me for the shopping cart thing? Wait, how old is this guy? How does he know about Facebook groups? For about 10 minutes, there was no response from Mr. Herman. I imagined him staring at his computer screen, slowly realizing what he'd done, his hand trembling on the mouse. Or maybe trying to figure out how to delete the comment. Or just frozen in abject horror. Then, at 4:03 p.m., another comment appeared from Harold Herman. Yes. It's me. I've been running the group for 8 months. And before you all start with your judgment, let me explain something. I am 70 years old. I have lived in this building for 12 years. In that time, I have submitted approximately 247 maintenance requests, complaints, and suggestions through official channels. Do you know how many were addressed in a timely manner? 19. 19 out of 247. That's a 7.7% success rate. Unacceptable. Then I created this group. Suddenly, things get fixed. Suddenly, people pay attention. The elevator gets repaired. The shopping carts disappear. The bird situation is monitored. All because I put it on the internet where people can see it and comment on it. Management doesn't care about emails. But they care about public perception. So yes. I'm the admin. I'm the one who's been posting about your various misdeeds and grievances. And you're welcome, by the way, because this building is significantly more livable now than it was a year ago. You want to complain? Go ahead. But remember who got your leaky sink fixed. The group exploded. Chapter 8. The Aftermath. The comments section turned into something between a town hall meeting and a therapy session. People confessed to knowing something was up. Others expressed betrayal. Many people, and I mean a surprising number, actually thanked him. I can't believe it was Mr. Herman all along, someone wrote. But also, he's not wrong about the management response rate. This is the funniest thing that's ever happened in this building. Derek posted, adding approximately 15 laughing emojis. Sir, you reported me for having my music too loud. Commented someone with the username Jake in 7F. But honestly, it was too loud, and I appreciate that you didn't just bang on my wall like a normal person. The public call-out made me actually fix my speaker situation. Others were less charitable. Mrs. Patterson from 3A, who Rachel had suspected, wrote a long comment about privacy and boundaries and vigilante justice, which sparked its own sub-argument about whether posting publicly visible behavior in a semi-public Facebook group actually counted as a privacy violation. Jasmine the paralegal chimed in with, "Okay, but can we talk about the fact that this man is 70 and somehow more tech-savvy than half the people in this building? Mr. Herman, do you offer tutoring?" That actually got a response from Mr. Herman. I took a community center class called Facebook for Seniors. Cost me $30. Best investment I ever made. Chapter 9. Coffee with the Watchdog. 2 days after the great unmasking, I did something I never thought I'd do. I knocked on the door of apartment 12B and asked Mr. Herman if he wanted to get coffee. He opened the door wearing, predictably, a cardigan. This one was burgundy. His expression was wary, like I might be there to serve him papers or yell at him about something he'd posted. "I'm not here to complain," I said quickly. "I actually think what you did is kind of brilliant. I just want to understand. Why?" He studied me for a moment, then nodded. "Give me a moment to get my coat." We ended up at the cafe 2 blocks down, the one with the overpriced lattes and the barista who always misspelled everyone's name. Mr. Herman ordered black coffee and a biscotti, which he didn't eat, just used to gesture with while he talked. "You have to understand," he began. "I spent 40 years as an accountant. 40 years of documentation, of following proper channels, of doing things the right way. I believed in systems. I believed that if you submitted the right form to the right department with the right information, things would get handled." He paused to sip his coffee. "Then I retired. Moved into Riverside apartments. And I discovered that the system doesn't work. Or rather, it works for the people running it, but not for the people it's supposed to serve. So you decided to create your own system," I said. "I decided to leverage the one thing management actually cares about. Reputation. No one reads emails. Everyone reads Facebook." He smiled slightly. "Do you know what the breakthrough was? The shopping cart situation. I'd been emailing about those carts for 3 weeks. 3 weeks of, 'We'll look into it,' and, 'Thank you for bringing this to our attention.' Then I posted about it in the group, and the carts were gone in 2 days. 2 days. Because suddenly it wasn't just one old man complaining. It was 300 people seeing the problem and talking about it." "But why stay anonymous?" I asked. "Why all the different, anonymous resident, accounts?" He gave me a look like I was being deliberately obtuse. "Because I'm 70 years old. If people knew it was me, they'd dismiss it as old man Herman complaining again. This way, it could be anyone. It could be your neighbor. It could be you." The anonymity gave it power. He paused. "Well, until I forgot to switch accounts." I couldn't help but laugh. "How did that happen, anyway?" He sighed, looking genuinely embarrassed. "I have 7 different dummy accounts. I rotate them to make it seem like multiple people. But I'd been arguing with my nephew on my real account about politics. He's wrong about taxes, by the way. And I forgot to log out before checking the group. Saw that dog post, got angry, commented without thinking." He shook his head. 40 years as an accountant and I can't manage basic digital security." Chapter 10. The Vote. News of Mr. Herman's identity spread beyond the group. By the end of the week, everyone in the building seemed to know. I'd see people whispering when he walked through the lobby, pointing him out to visitors. "That's him," they'd say, like he was some kind of celebrity. The building management, predictably, was less amused. They sent out an email reminding residents that unofficial communication channels do not constitute formal complaints, and that all concerns should be directed through proper management channels. They didn't mention the group by name, but everyone knew what they meant. The group itself was in chaos. Some people wanted Mr. Herman to stay as admin. Others thought the group should be shut down now that the ringleader had been exposed. A splinter faction started arguing that the group should become more official, with elected moderators and formal rules. Derek started a poll. Should Mr. Herman remain as admin of the Riverside Watchdog? The options were: yes, long live the king; no, time for new blood; and this group should be dissolved entirely. By the time voting closed 24 hours later, yes, long live the king had won with 73% of the vote. No, time for new blood got 18%. Dissolve the group got 9%, which I suspected came entirely from management staff and Mrs. Patterson. Mr. Herman posted a response that evening. Thank you for your confidence. I promise to continue holding our community accountable, starting with demanding better lighting in the parking garage. Those bulbs have been out for 3 months. 3 months. This is a safety issue. Management, if you're reading this, and I know you are, please address this before someone trips and sues you. The lights were replaced within a week. Chapter 11. The Evolution. Here's the thing about revolutions. They don't stay revolutionary forever. Eventually, they become the new normal. Over the following months, the Riverside Watchdog evolved. Mr. Herman recruited 2 co-admins. Jasmine the paralegal, who helped establish actual rules, and Marcus from 15C, who was apparently some kind of IT consultant and set up better privacy controls. They created a system where people could submit issues anonymously, but all posts had to be approved by the admin team to prevent harassment. The group also became nicer. Instead of just calling people out, residents started using it to help each other. Someone posted asking for help moving a couch, and 15 people volunteered. Another person asked for restaurant recommendations, sparking a 100-comment thread about the best Thai place in the neighborhood. When old Mrs. Rodriguez in 4B fell and broke her hip, the group organized a meal train that lasted 3 weeks. The exposing didn't stop. Mr. Herman made sure of that. But it was balanced now. For every post about someone blocking the laundry room, there was another about someone returning a lost wallet or helping a neighbor with groceries. Even management adapted. They started actually monitoring the group. Probably because the lawyer they consulted told them they had to. And responding to complaints more quickly. The response rate went from Mr. Herman's calculated 7.7% to somewhere north of 60%. Not perfect, but better. You know what the secret is? Mr. Herman told me one day when I ran into him in the lobby. Community isn't about perfection. It's about people paying attention. The group made people pay attention. To the problems, yes, but also to each other. Chapter 12. The Legacy. 6 months after the great unmasking, Rachel and I were sitting on my couch, wine glasses in hand, scrolling through the group on our phones. Look at this, Rachel said, showing me her screen. Someone posted a tutorial on how to fix a running toilet. They're calling it Mr. Herman's Home Maintenance Series. I looked at my own feed. Someone had posted a photo of a cat stuck in a tree near the building, asking for help. Within 10 minutes, there were 3 volunteers with ladders and a plan. Within 30 minutes, there was a photo of the rescued cat and a debate about whether cats actually get stuck in trees or just pretend to for attention. It's weird, I said. I moved here thinking I'd be anonymous. Just another face in a big building. Instead, I know half the people who live here. I know Derek's terrible taste in music. I know Mrs. Chen vacuums at 2 a.m. because she works night shifts. I know Marcus is allergic to shellfish and Jasmine has a thing for true crime podcasts. Is that good or bad? Rachel asked. I thought about it. About how exhausting it sometimes was to be part of this constant stream of community drama. About how I couldn't take out my recycling without wondering if someone would post about it. About how my private life felt less private. But I also thought about the time my car wouldn't start and 3 neighbors showed up with jumper cables without me even asking. About how the group had organized a building-wide yard sale that actually made me $500. About how, when I'd been sick with the flu, someone I'd never met left soup outside my door because they'd seen me mention it in a comment thread. I think it's good, I said finally. Annoying sometimes. Invasive occasionally. But good. All thanks to a cranky old man with a laminator and a grudge against inefficiency, Rachel said, raising her glass. To Mr. Herman. To Mr. Herman, I echoed. May his emails never be ignored again. Epilogue. The last thing I'll tell you is this. About a year after everything happened, I saw Mr. Herman in the lobby putting up a new notice on the bulletin board. Same laminated sheet, same Times New Roman font. This one read. Reminder. Community Facebook groups are not a substitute for getting to know your actual neighbors. Please consider saying hello to people in the elevator instead of just posting about them online. Thank you. The management. I caught his eye and grinned. Did management actually approve that, or did you just sign it, the management, yourself? He smiled, a rare sight, and winked. Some mysteries, he said, should remain unsolved. Then he walked away, burgundy cardigan and all, leaving me laughing in the lobby. The Riverside Watchdog still exists. I'm still addicted to it. And somewhere in apartment 12B, I like to imagine Mr. Herman is sitting at his computer, switching between his 7 dummy accounts, making sure our community stays accountable. Some heroes wear capes. Ours wears cardigans and knows his way around Facebook better than people half his age. And you know what? That's exactly the hero we needed.